Hi everyone. I'd like to introduce you to Mirror, this fantastic book by Jeannie Baker. As you may know, Baker uses a collage technique to create these amazing wordless books. So there's very little printed text here, but the images form the text themselves and guide the narrative. Mirror is physically presented as two halves or mirror images. One side of the book reads from left to right and has English titles. The other side of the book reads from right to left and has Arabic titles. So right away, students have this very tactile and visual idea presented to them of two sides to a story, of considering the other and reflecting on it, back to self. This is a core idea of intercultural understanding, that we first reflect on our own story, on the self, and then consider the story of others in order to bring about understanding. It's not only the differences that are reflected on, but the similarities, and this idea is at the heart of Mirror. Baker specifically states that the Western and Moroccan stories in this book are designed to be read side by side. So everything is mirrored here. The physical structure of the book, the cover illustrations, title pages, end papers, and the content, the number of pages, the contexts for the stories, and the placement of the boy at the centre of each story. So it would be great to read this book in pairs, one student turning this way, the other student turning this way, to get the full experience of reflection and contrast. There's also scope to have half the class read one story and the other half read the other story, and they could predict, narrate, or interview the others, comparing experiences, perhaps asking questions such as, where do you go shopping? How do you get from one place to another? What do you eat for dinner? They could write text or retell the other person's story. Now we have the potential to simulate social situations where we approach another person's story with no knowledge, but we recognise similarities in their story that we can relate to ourselves. There are strong links to the curriculum here. Intercultural understanding, one of the general capabilities of the Australian curriculum. The Level 4 English curriculum and the Level 4 Humanities and Social Sciences curriculum. So this could be approached as a multidisciplinary unit with a focal point of literacy. I chose to share Mirror with you because we can use it as a lens to look at intercultural understanding. In my class of Year 4 learners, 97% of students are from language backgrounds other than English. They speak 15 different languages. 1 in 5 of my students arrived in Australia as a refugee, and over 80% of my students were born overseas. The Australian curriculum states that it's important to develop intercultural understanding so our learners can value and view critically their own cultural perspectives and practices and those of others through their interactions with people, texts and contexts. This intercultural understanding helps our learners to make connections between their own worlds and the worlds of others, to build on shared interests and commonalities, and to negotiate or mediate differences. That's directly from the curriculum. So these understandings are crucial to enable our learners to feel connected to what they're learning, connected to each other and to the cultural experiences that we all bring with us, and connected to the communities that we all inhabit. So I hope you get the opportunity to use Mirror with your learners. Thanks.